Hi guys, Jamie Hinks here again with some fantasy tips for the coming weekend on DraftKings.com. The Premier League takes a well-earned rest after a frenetic Christmas period, and to fill that gap I've jetted over to Spain for some La Liga tips. So looking at Saturday's slate of games, here are my top picks at each position. So we'll kick things off with the goalkeepers. Real Madrid's Keylor Navas at $6,000, and even though he's only kept 2 clean sheets in 9 games this season, Madrid are such big home favourites against a Granada team that are sitting at the wrong end of the table that I think Navas is well worth drafting. He'll get 10 points, and that's the least you can expect from Navas. He may even make one save, then and you're laughing. So for those looking to save a little bit of money, or quite a lot of money actually, $2,000 to be exact, go for Asier Riesgo of Eibar for just $4,000. He's fit once again after an injury earlier on in the season, and he plays for a team that has conceded just 6 goals on home soil this season. Only Villarreal have a better defensive record in that category, and Eibar have actually lost just once at Ipurua this campaign, and Atletico Madrid arrive on a poor run that sees them in a disappointing 6th position. So let's get into the defenders, and with Seville on this slate, it's very hard to overlook Mariano at $4,800. In my opinion, he is a safer pick than his teammate Sergio Escudero, as he tends to score at a more consistent rate. A prolific crosser, Mariano has 66 in that category this season in La Liga, and while he only has 1 assist, I think the Brazilian is good at tackling with 3.2 per game, and he has 9 fancy points per game. At the same price is Douglas of Sporting Gijón, and let's be honest, he's one of the only good things about Gijón when it comes to DraftKings fantasy footy. In just 7 appearances this season, he's scoring 10.6 fantasy points per game, which is very impressive for a defender in any league, and he has double-digit scoring in each of his last 4 games. A lot of those points do come from his preference to cross at every given opportunity, a category where he has 6.7 crosses per game. So moving up into the midfield, I have very little confidence in those top options at the top of the table. You've got Gareth Bale, who's injured, and then you've got the Atletico Madrid guys. So in order to fit in the bigger guns up the pitch, I've gone for Pedro Leon of Eibar. The former Real Madrid man moved to Eibar in the summer, and he's already got 5 goals in his first 14 games for his new club. He averages a whopping 9.5 crosses per game, and he also leads his team in shooting, key passes and dribbles. For a guaranteed point haul this weekend, you can't get any better than Leon in the midfield. But even considering those glowing statistics for Pedro Leon, for just $600 less, you can get Toni Kroos of Real Madrid. Madrid have been hit by a glut of injuries of late. I already mentioned Bale earlier, but also Lucas Vazquez is expected to be out for this game. And it does mean that you could chance it on James Rodriguez at just a little bit more money than Kroos. But why do you do that when Kroos' scoring is far more consistent? In his first start since recovering from a broken foot, Kroos had 16.25 fantasy points in the win over Deportivo La Coruña on December the 10th, thanks to a number of crosses plus an assist. He leads La Liga in that category with 7 assists, and I think he's going to add to that against Granada. So finally, getting onto the best part of the pitch where point scoring is concerned, it's the forwards. And there really is only one man to consider here. You've made space elsewhere with those savings, so you pick Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, at $10,900. Ronaldo has 10 goals and 2 assists in just 11 La Liga starts this season, and when you get his average of 6.2 shots per game, which is better than any other player, you know that he's a great player to pick, whoever the opponents are. Granada are actually second bottom in La Liga this season, have the second worst defence, and I think it all points to a huge day for Cristiano Ronaldo. Another interesting centre forward to look at is Las Palmas' Marco Levaya, who costs just $6,200 on DraftKings. The Croatian has a goal or an assist in his last 2 home matches for the club, and also has 2 goals and an assist in his last 4 games in total. His fantasy points do tend to rely a lot on goals, but he is cheap, and I like Las Palmas in this matchup against a poor Sporting Gijón side. So that's it for the first episode of DraftKings La Liga Picks. If you liked what you saw, give me a like below, and to get even more of this content, subscribe to the channel where you'll also get plenty of Fantasy Premier League pointers and DraftKings Premier League pointers when it's back next week. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.